A sitting president, the Oscars stage, and a comedian who just got handed a loaded gun and pulled the trigger live on television. What happened next left Hollywood speechless, broke the internet in minutes, and forced the actual White House to issue an official statement about a comedy show. This is the night Jimmy Kimmel made Donald Trump wish he never touched his phone.
Well, I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again. Okay, now, see if you can guess which former president just posted that on Tuesday. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still... Isn't it past your jail time?
The audience exploded. Emma Stone, Bradley Cooper, every A-list celebrity in that room couldn't believe what just happened. And just like that, Hollywood turned Donald Trump's obsession with attention into his public undoing. Here's what happened. Kimmel is mid-monologue at the biggest award show on earth when producers tell him Trump just posted a Truth Social attack calling him the worst Oscars host ever. They tell him not to engage. Don't give Trump the attention. Kimmel does the opposite. He pulls out his phone on live television and reads the entire rant word for word to a global audience of millions. The power dynamic shifted in that moment. For a man who built his brand on dominating airtime, Kimmel flipped the camera and made Trump the subject of his own parody. And the punchline? Isn't it past your jail time? The next morning, every outlet from The Guardian to The Hollywood Reporter ran the same headline. President watches Oscars, gets roasted by hosts live on stage. But Kimmel wasn't done. The next night on his show, he doubled down.
We've had a hell of a couple of weeks, but I did get some exciting news this weekend. According to a new poll from YouGov, which is a serious polling site, or they were before this, I am more popular than the President of the United States. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
The audience howled. Because it was true, Kimmel's approval rating was higher than Trump's. Then Kimmel delivered the line that went viral.
Considering the fact that I'm not a convicted felon friend of Jeffrey Epstein, and I've never paid off a porn star or sent a team of masked goons into a park to pull an old lady away from her grandchildren, I feel like my rating should be higher maybe than... At this point, finding a toenail in your salad has a 7-point lead over Donald Trump.
Finding a toenail in your salad. That's the kind of surgical mockery that turns narcissism into comedy gold. And Trump, he couldn't let it go.
And I hope he doesn't see this. I hate to, I don't like to upset him, but I think he might be upset because the White House put out a statement this afternoon. This is a real statement. Over 77 million Americans showed up on Election Day to cast their ballots for President Donald J. Trump, who is delivering on his overwhelming mandate to put America first. Jimmy Kimmel prays every night to garner a fraction of that support to keep his show on air after ratings dropped 64% last week. Sad. I like sad with an exclamation point,
The White House, the actual White House, issued an official statement attacking a late-night comedian's ratings. Let that sink in. The President of the United States was so rattled by a joke that he had his staff write a press release about TV ratings. But while Kimmel was roasting Trump at the Oscars, Stephen Colbert was exposing him from another angle. Trump's obsession with building a ballroom at the White House.
We're just 9 months into Trump's turn and he's going Hulk smash on the White House. Last time, it took him at least 4 years to bring a demo crew to the Capitol. This is happening after Trump specifically promised his ballroom construction wouldn't touch the existing White House. Here he is talking about it this summer.
It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it. And pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite place. I love it.
So that was a lie?
Colbert showed the receipts. Trump promised the construction wouldn't touch the White House. Then he sent a backhoe to rip off a chunk of the East Wing.
Case in point, yesterday, as part of his White House ballroom project, he sent out a backhoe to rip off a chunk of the East Wing. That is it. We are not giving him the security deposit back.
The audience died laughing because that's Colbert's genius. He makes you laugh at the absurdity before you realize how disturbing it actually is. But here's where both Kimmel and Colbert shifted from comedy to something sharper, because while Trump was obsessing over ratings and ballrooms, he was also hiding something massive.
You know what else is sad? That the President of the United States has a lower approval rating than Diddy and diarrhea. That's what's sad. You know, if he's looking, I know he cares very deeply about this sort of thing. If he's looking to improve his approval numbers, I have an idea. Release the Epstein files.
The crowd erupted because that's the question everyone's been asking. Why won't Trump release the files? Kimmel had the answer.
Vast majority say they want to see the Epstein files. 77% of Americans want the Epstein files released, but 100% of our American president does not want them released. Trump's treating these Epstein files like the grumpy old neighbor on Halloween. He turns off all the lights and just hopes the trick-or-treaters will assume there's nobody home. He's like, do you people not understand what a wonderful secret means?
Then Kimmel exposed Trump's deflection strategy.
Why are we building a $200 million ballroom in the White House? Is it possible that he's doing it intentionally so we could be mad about that instead of the Epstein list? By the time he's out of office?
That line hit different because suddenly the ballroom obsession made sense. It's a distraction, a shiny object to keep the media focused on anything but the files. Colbert piled on.
At this point, should we even believe that this is going to end up being a ballroom? It could just as easily end up being a combination Pizza Hut Taco Bell. Now, someone in his administration is clearly smart enough to know how bad this looks, because the Treasury Department is right next door facing the demolition, and Treasury has now told their employees not to share any photos of the construction. Not generally something you instruct when you're proud of what's going on. Hey guys, remember, no photos at my wedding, and it's not because I'm marrying a body pillow of Mariah Carey.
But the most shocking moment came when Kimmel exposed Trump's response to a question about Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's convicted accomplice.
Caitlin Collins from CNN asked Trump whether he plans to pardon Epstein's right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, and whereas he's usually, very quick to weigh in bigly on this type of thing, for this one, suddenly even-tempered and even deferential.
The Supreme Court is back and said that they rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance at getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who've asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
She was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I have to ask DOJ.
Oh, yeah. Ask DOJ and get back to us, please. We'd love to.
Trump,
everything was
comments
fine
on everything instantly, suddenly can't remember Ghislaine Maxwell's name, the woman convicted of child sex trafficking for Jeffrey Epstein. And when reminded, he says he'll have to ask DOJ, the same DOJ run by his personal lawyers. Meanwhile, Colbert was fighting a different battle. When Trump tried to get ABC to cancel Kimmel's show, Colbert used it as ammunition.
Wonderful news for my dear friend Jimmy and his amazing staff. They continue their show. That's right. I'm so happy for them. Plus, now that Jimmy's not being canceled, I get to enjoy this again. Yeah. Oh. Once more, I am the only martyr in late nights. Wait, unless CBS, you want to announce anything?
The audience laughed, but Colbert was making a serious point. Trump's threats against free speech weren't just authoritarian, they were pathetic. Then Colbert revealed something shocking.
So Disney put Kimmel back on because you, the American people, were upset, okay? But not just people, also Ted Cruz. It's true. Yeah. Cruz was one of the conservatives who were outraged by the administration's attack on free speech.
He threatens explicitly, we're going to cancel ABC's license. We're going to take him off the air so ABC cannot broadcast anymore. He threatens it. He says, we can do this the easy way, but we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Even Ted Cruz was defending Jimmy Kimmel because Trump's threats crossed a line that even Republicans couldn't ignore. And when Kimmel appeared on Colbert's show, he said something that cut through all the comedy.
Yeah.
Did you ever think the President of the United States would be celebrating your unemployment?
I mean, that son of a bitch, you know, is really unbelievable.
Mr. Son of a Bitch.
I mean,
Mr. Son of a Bitch.
His royal, yes, yeah, no, I never imagined that we'd ever have a president like this, and I hope we don't ever have another president like this again. I mean, I never even imagined there would ever be a situation in which the president of our country was celebrating hundreds of Americans losing their jobs, with somebody who took pleasure in that. That to me is the absolute opposite of what a leader of this country is supposed to be.
But through it all, Trump kept talking about his ballroom, his beautiful, incredible, unprecedented ballroom.
When I heard it, I was in the midst of, building for 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom at the White House, right? They don't have a ballroom. They have to use tents on the lawn for President Xi when he comes over. If it rains, it's a wipeout. And so I was with the architects that would design. It's going to be incredible.
Yesterday, at the White House, Trump talked about his wrecking ballroom. And the one thing I don't think we make enough fun of is how his brain is filled with cotton candy fantasies of lavish princely soirees.
So you'll have drinks, cocktails, everything on this floor. And then they'll say, welcome to dinner. You walk into the ballroom, Mr. Senators, and you're going to see a ballroom the likes of which I don't think it'll be topped.
There'll be drinks, cocktails, like this, drinks and cocktails.
Colbert nailed it. Trump's brain is filled with cotton candy fantasies while the country demands answers about Epstein. So what did Kimmel and Colbert do that nobody else could? They used Trump's own words, his own posts, his own obsessions, and they held up a mirror on live television for the entire world to see. Kimmel read his rants at the Oscars. Colbert exposed his ballroom lies. And together, they proved something politicians couldn't, that the emperor has no clothes.
If you like this video, you can also see related videos by clicking Upside.